Hello, Wonderhussy here, out in the middle of nowhere, in the desert, as usual. I've been camping at this little hot springs oasis for the last 8 days, and it's an exceptional place in a number of ways. But what makes it so exceptional is the fact that it's really, really, really hard to get to. Okay, this hot spring is located in the vast, and I do mean vast, desolate, and I do mean desolate, and mysterious, and I do mean mysterious, Saline Valley. This is actually one of the most desolate areas in the entire lower 48 United States. One of the most desolate valleys, but despite the fact that it's so hard to get to, all kind of folks come out here anyway because the hot springs are amazing. Now, to get out here, it's a journey and an expedition no matter where you come from, but there's 4 main ways into this valley. You can come in from the north, which is the easiest route, and when I say easiest, it's still hours of bone-rattling, tire-busting mayhem just to get here. Or you could come in from the south, which is even more hours of bone-rattling, tire-busting mayhem. Or you can come in from the racetrack playa, where the little rocks look like they move on their own. You know, that dry lake bed with the mysterious rocks. You can come in from there, but that's a really, really rough pass to come in on. And there's one 4th approach here. Behind me, it's called Steel Pass, and that comes from the Eureka Dunes, those big Eureka sand dunes. I made a video there once. It's called Steel Pass. It comes in from the Eureka sand dunes down here into the Saline Valley. Now, I've never taken Steel Pass before, despite the fact that I'm sure my Toyota 4Runner would be perfectly capable. In fact, I've been advised by all my off-roading friends here that, oh, I gotta be careful because some of them are naked. My vehicle would be fine going over Steel Pass, but I'm not leaving today. What do I want to drive my rig over Steel Pass and beat it up just for fun? No. Fortunately for me, though, I got some crazy friends who like off-roading for fun, and they wanted to go over Steel Pass just for funsies, and I'm especially interested in one of them in particular. Okay, I gotta be real careful because there's a bunch of naked people over there, but we got 2 Toyota pickup trucks, and they should make it over Steel Pass with no problem. But we also have a minivan! That's right, a minivan! Is this guy totally nuts by trying to take a minivan over Steel Pass? Okay, this is Mike Z, and this is your minivan? You don't like it when people call it a minivan?
It's not your mother's minivan.
Okay, what, so you made a bunch of modifications to this thing?
Yeah, look at it.
So how confident do you feel?
I feel pretty confident. You know, they always say it's the driver, not the vehicle.
And that's true. Technique is a lot of it. And you seem like you're pretty knowledgeable. You've driven a lot of gnarly roads.
This whole look is contrived to make it seem like I know what I'm talking about.
Okay. So how many inches of clearance do you have?
I don't know. The only thing that I was concerned with that they pointed out, I don't have my skid plate on yet.
Uh-oh.
But I don't have any low-hanging fruit.
You don't? Let's talk turkey, Mike. Did you air down your tires?
Yes, they're down at 20 pounds.
Okay. Did you do anything else especially for this journey?
No, other than set this up to be able to handle anything I think it can handle. So, yeah, they're good quality, what they call pizza cutters. I went with a narrower tire.
Pizza cutters?
Yeah, so they're a little narrower than what a lot of people
a narrow tire.
Like Jeepers, you know, they're in the
right,
big,
yeah, they like the big
fat
tires.
The difference is on a fat tire, when you take the air down, they widen, you know.
Yeah.
But with these, they lengthen.
Oh, so
it becomes more like a tank track.
Oh, so we're going to be rolling in a tank. I like it. Mike, I feel great. I just broke...
I call it a mini tank.
Mini tank? Yeah, it's not a minivan, it's a mini tank. I did just break my mirror, which is 7 years of bad luck for me, but not for you. I think Mike, we'll be fine. You're a man's man. You know how to handle this thing. It ain't your grandma's minivan. Let's go. Okay, here's one of the other rigs in the expedition. This is Kurt. Kurt, what are you driving?
It's a Tacoma.
Tacoma, what year?
2000.
And you've got a lot of modifications on it?
I've done some, and Oleg, the Russian that built it, did.
Oleg! Oleg would not let you down. Look at that.
The Oleg monster.
Yeah, you're a beast. You got your Bilstein shocks. You got a winch on the front. Did you
Straight axle.
Straight axle. Did you air down your tires?
Oh yeah, 18.
Oh, 18. Okay, great. All right. Well, I think you'll make it no problem.
Yep.
And I hope you do because I'm riding back with you.
Yeah,
so if you break down,
mighty bad.
I break down.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and then here's the 3rd rig. This is an 87 Toyota pickup. It's either a Hilux or an SR5. We're not sure, but I'm sure it's very capable. And just look at the co-pilot. Okay, we're in the rig. This is a very comfortable ride in your minivan, Mike, I must say.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna distract you. I know you're trying to focus on the road, but I do want to say that he has this awesome sticker. Remember, you have to drive this home. This is your daily driver, man. You don't want to beat this up for no reason. You gotta drive this home.
Yep. Even to impress Wonderhussy.
Oh, gee. Okay, there's our caravan. We've made it about 3 miles. Kurt says it's only like 15 or 20 miles to the Eureka Sand Dunes, but it's gonna take us all day to get there and back, so let's see how it goes.
Everything that we're doing right now and what I've done so far, which is we're barely into this, is way more hardcore than I've done in this van before.
Oh, so you've never been this far before?
No, I mean I've done a lot of off-road stuff with this van, but I've never done anything this technical in it before.
And how do you feel so far?
I feel fine with it. Everything's fine.
Van's performing great.
Yeah, drivetrain is good. Plenty of traction. Now I hit that rock on purpose. I wanted to go over instead of between because it was kind of tall.
Right.
The fact that it's doing it and nothing's fallen off yet.
Fingers crossed. Okay, this seems like it would be a good time to point out that Mike has his own YouTube channel. What's your channel about?
Now's a good time.
Yeah,
Now's a good time.
Oh my God. So what's your channel? And what is it all Astro Vans stuff?
So, I started it a long time ago and I never did much with, actually, man, you made me think of something. The first video on my channel, I encourage everybody to go back and look at it, was a video shot by Ricky Rocket. He's the drummer from Poison.
Oh, I'm friends with him on Facebook.
So Ricky and I
Hi, Ricky.
We used to be pretty tight, he's a pretty cool dude. So it's a really cool interview with the motorcycle stuff, but then he also took me into my shop about my woodworking and everything. And that was it. I put that up and then I did some motorcycle trips and then I did a few things like I did my hammer workout.
So basically what you're saying is your channel has varied content.
But like I was telling you and you tell me, people like when you tell stories, and it's gonna start morphing more into the storytelling while I'm doing things with the Astro van, like when I'm out in the woods and things like that.
Yeah, and he's actually a really good storyteller. I watched a couple of his videos because he lives in Hollywood. Okay, this dude right here lives in Hollywood, and he has some pretty good stories. So what's the name of your channel? Astro Van Tribe?
Yeah, at Astro Van Tribe or just Astro Van Tribe,
Okay.
you'll find it. And also, Mike Z Design.
Oh, and that's your woodworking stuff?
That's one. And I will travel. Have tools will travel. So for the last 5 years.
Oh, so if you need high-end cabinetry, hit him up.
Yeah, not really cabinetry, but just solid woodwork stuff.
Okay, solid woodwork stuff.
Yeah,
High-end
furniture,
though, nice.
Make a room super cool.
Oh, okay.
That sort of thing.
All right, we've probably gone another 4 or 5 miles. We're moving up out of the alluvial fan into these beautiful rock formations. It's just a great day to be off-roading. Mike is feeling very confident about the van. We're all doing just fine. Meanwhile, I haven't forgotten about this bathtub full of marbles. That's the main reason I went on this expedition. This 3-hour tour. Just kidding. Actually, Mike is very interesting to talk to. When I have the camera off, he's been telling me all kind of interesting stories about the people he knows in Hollywood. So I'm enjoying the drive, but I'm not losing track of this marble bathtub. So we just looked at the map. I have it pinned, but it's apparently not visible from the road. So we're about 6 miles from it. Once we get near it, we're gonna have to start really looking carefully. Okay, according to my map, we're right on this marble bathtub. It's somewhere in this area. Now, I'm thinking optimistically that we're gonna find it. I brought this little flamingo somebody gave me because I understand the tradition is people leave little rubber duckies in this bathtub. It's full of blue marbles, but also people apparently leave rubber ducks. So I didn't have a rubber ducky with me. I didn't know it was gonna be coming here, but I did have this little pool flamingo, and I feel like it wouldn't be out of place. The only thing we know is that it's not visible from the road. It's tucked away somewhere, so Mike got out to go do some scouting real quick. There's really nowhere for the bathtub to be hiding on that side of the road, so it seems like it's got to be over here somewhere. All right, if I was a bathtub, where would I be hiding? Okay, Mike actually has a deck built on top of his badass 4x4 Astro van that can support up to 2 tons or something. Anyway, he's up there with the binoculars doing some recon. We're pretty well past the point I had marked on my map, but golly, it's got to be around here somewhere. I'm just thinking there would be like a part that you would see some sign of disturbance, like where people park and get out and walk. Also, hi Jeepers. In my experience, a lot of Jeepers are not the most avid hikers, let's just say. They like being able to drive to places. So I can't imagine this thing is that far off the road. I can't imagine that it's a very strenuous hike to get to it. And I suppose I shouldn't just say that about Jeepers. All off-roaders in general, myself included, we just like being able to drive right up to stuff. Uh-oh, fighter jet. Those guys come out of China Lake, I think, which isn't that far from here, China Lake Naval Air Weapons Station. And they love blazing down through this canyon to buzz all the naked people at the hot springs. Oh, man. We've been looking for this thing everywhere. I found a piece of an old bungee cord. And we haven't seen hide nor hair of a bathtub. And so it's like, well, how much time do we want to spend looking for this thing? Because we're planning to drive all the way to the Eureka Dunes and then all the way back down to the warm springs. Ugh, I really hate not being able to find something I'm trying to find. You know how that goes? I don't know. All right. We all agreed that we'd spend enough time looking for this dang bathtub, and we need to get going. If we're gonna, we gotta at least guide Mike to a place where he feels confident going on solo. So we're moving on.
Scared for a minute. I thought I blew a line.
Oh no.
We'll find out.
Oh gosh. Okay, so what was that? What were you doing under the hood?
Oh, well, we went over a very technical, bouldery section that went very far off camber. Probably most I've ever done in the van.
Oh.
And then we got up, and then it went off camber pretty hard to the left, and then it twisted real quick, and then there was a fast climb. And we got to this level spot, and I got out and I heard gurgle, gurgle, gurgle.
Oh, you heard a sound.
And then I went, and it looked like the coolant was running out of the vehicle.
You saw the coolant?
Yeah, there's a puddle back there.
Oh, dang.
So Wonderhussy was busy looking around for flowers.
I was looking for the bathtub.
And and I got nervous for a moment because my first thought was, uh-oh, trail repair, busted radiator hose.
Yeah.
But I noticed I opened up the coolant overflow and it was filling up.
Oh, okay.
And that's when I realized what happened was that likely the off camber and sudden jolt probably created like an air bubble in the line, and it wasn't allowing the coolant to circulate. And I turned the key off, obviously, and I looked at the temperature and it went up to 260.
Woo!
And then I let it sit for a moment after I opened that up. And I went and I looked and I noticed that the needle had gone down a little. So I started the engine. It started circulating coolant because now I was on level ground. And now we're back to under 210, which is normal.
Okay, awesome. All's well that ends well, hopefully.
Yeah.
So you were just saying something about it's not necessarily the vehicle, it's the driver?
It's almost never the vehicle. It's always the driver. Because you could have a vehicle that's totally dialed and have some schmuck driving it, making dumb decisions. Or, which, by the way, there's a lot of you people out there, you got the money and you're really into this and it's your hobby and you love it and you go out with your friends and you're throwing money at something because, hey, if I have this, I'm capable of that. And then you go out and you do it and you're breaking things and you're screwing up and you're rolling your vehicles. It's because you're better off learning on something that doesn't have all that capability, because then you're going to learn your skills. And I want to point out that if you're doing what I'm doing, and which I never tell you to do in all my videos, all the upgrading I've done over the last few years with this van so I can do stuff like this, I've always said, don't do what I'm doing. This is, you know, blah, blah, blah. But a lot of you are doing it anyhow, and I commend you on it because it's ballsy. It's ballsy. But don't just think it's an easy thing to come out and do it because you've built the vehicle in the same way. You really have to think about what you're doing, where your tire placement is. Even right now as I'm talking to you, my eyeballs are noticing everything on the road here, you know? So now the beauty that I've noticed with the van on this track here, we're on Steel Pass Road, which apparently is a big deal. Technically, like what you were saying, the Jeepers are always talking, like this is a real thing.
Yeah.
And I've been able to navigate some pretty technical tight turns with boulders and off camber and all that perfect. I'm even shocked at how I've been getting through some narrow places. Now there's going to be, and we'll show it to you next when we come up to it, apparently there's a very narrow stretch between two big boulders. That's when this Astro Van's going to shine. But for those of you with Astro Vans building them, good luck, but just be careful.
Oh, here comes that steep, narrow canyon. This is the point in this pass where they go, oh, you gotta have a narrow vehicle or you're gonna get your side scraped. It's supposed to be real hairy. Before we go through that gnarly canyon, we had to stop and do what all proficient off-roaders do before navigating an obstacle, and that's drink a beer. Or Mike's Hard Lemonade. So, cheers. Good job, Mike. All right, we just had a drink, had a bite to eat, made some sandwiches, and now it's time to face this final obstacle. Now, apparently there's going to be two things. There's going to be a real narrow gap we got to squeeze through, and then there's some kind of stair steps. And the stair steps are what have always held me personally back from doing this, but well, nothing's holding back Mike and the Astro Van. Uh-oh!
This is serious.
What? Look at that! How about that, man? Navigated that step like it was nothing at all. Uh-oh, now we got something. Ooh, Mike, I don't know. I think you better go look at this. This is nar-nar. I don't know how this little Astro Van is gonna handle this. Yikes. Will the Astro Van make the Steel Pass stair steps? Ooh, oh, ah, get out of town. Okay, hold on. Let me get ahead of you. How do you feel?
Pretty good, but this next one is what I'm nervous about.
Oh, he's nervous about this one. Okay. It's a pretty steep. Oh gosh, yeah, look at this.
I feel like I want to move some of these rocks.
Okay, he's gonna move some rocks.
I mean, this is pretty serious here.
Yeah.
So the tires are going to come down. I'm going to miss that. I'm going to come here.
Okay.
So I'm going to want to...
Good thing he's a weightlifter.
I don't know. It's a tough call here. We'll see. See what happens. I don't know. This does not look good to me.
Uh-oh. I better get out of the way. No time to get excited. He's still got more obstacles to navigate. Now we're coming up on another dry fall.
I feel like I should drive that way.
Well, no, he's already committed to this route. Go dang it. I'll be a monkey's friggin' uncle. Uh-oh.
No, there's no way. I gotta go that way. I think I went the wrong way.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if I can back up over this.
Well, oh, here comes Ellie. Navigating the first waterfall in her rig. All right, Mikey got out of the jam. He's gonna come around and try this way instead, because yeah, that's way too steep. There's no way. He's gonna come down this side. Look at that. Like a hot knife through butter. He's just cruising through that waterfall. How about that? All right. And here comes Ellie bringing up the rear. Oh, let's go check on the Astro Van.
Just a quick inspection here.
Just make sure you didn't hit anything.
Oh, I hit something. That was nuts, Sarah.
Yeah, that was nuts. I couldn't believe you did that. That was brass friggin' balls, Mike.
Well,
I think that was it. That was the tight squeeze and the waterfall.
now's when you should interview me.
Okay, hold
That's
on.
what we just did.
I will, hold on. Thank you, Spielberg, for telling me what to do.
I'm sorry.
Okay, Mike says now would be a good time for me to interview him. So what?
Yeah, because I went to the right by mistake, and you saw.
Yeah, there was too steep of a drop off. You
Did you
couldn't make it.
record me
Yeah,
back
yeah. Oh, sure.
So that backup section, that was the hairiest part because I can't see what's behind me.
We watched it all, Mike. We saw it in.
Okay.
I'm gonna replay it in slow motion.
Oh, that'd be cool. I was a little busy to
Yeah.
notice
No,
what
don't
you were
worry,
doing.
we got lots of footage. You'll be able to watch that, and well, I'll cut this up. You can land.
I tried following you to the right, but that was such a deep drop-off step.
Yeah, the other way was better.
Yes, I had to back up, and that backup section was the hard part. The hardest part. Going to the left was not a big deal.
Yeah, sorry I led you that way, but
You bastard!
I
It was
didn't-
all his fault.
well,
Blame it on Kurt.
remember, how bad it was. So anyway,
We're
that was
fine.
a good step there.
Yeah. Astro Van.
Yeah, and then look at we're smooth sailing all the way up ahead. There they are, the mighty, magnificent Eureka Dunes. At last, we made it over Steel Pass in an Astro Van minivan.
Stop with the minivan.
It's not your grandma's minivan. So, Mike, how many guys would you estimate around the world are doing what you're doing with an Astro Van?
Not a lot. I mean, it's becoming a more popular thing, and it's actually a lot of girls too.
So what's what are the ups, the positives or the pros of having an Astro Van versus a regular, like a Sprinter van or something?
Well, the Astro Van, as you've seen, the Sprinter Van wouldn't do that.
It's just it's compact. It's much more compact,
Yeah, so the
shorter
compact-
wheelbase.
The compact nature of it, the fact that the chassis is heavy-duty truck parts versus a minivan that's really built like a car. The Astro Van was built like a truck from the beginning. The only thing was like they pulled back a little bit, like on the rear springs. So that's why you want to up the spring rating.
Why? Wait. Why? What was this thing built for?
Well, now the cargo vans, some of them actually had more spring rate, but this was a passenger van. This had two.
So this
row
was meant.
seats.
The Astro Van was meant to be a passenger
Yeah,
van.
this was a soccer mom kind of van.
So it was a minivan.
No, it was a soccer.
It was a soccer mom van.
It was a soccer mom midsize,
Mid-size
heavy-duty
van.
truck van.
Oh, okay.
But they can't say that when they're advertising it, so they have to call it a minivan.
Oh, okay. All right.
No, I think there's a lot of guys doing it, and more guys are doing it now. And I mean, people like me are the reason why more people are doing it. But I did not invent this. There were people doing this to Astro Vans decades ago.
Oh.
It just was rare. You didn't see a lot of it.
Okay.
But 4x4 people recognized the capabilities of it and understood Chevy, where you could take the parts and just make it work. And it's a pretty tough vehicle. So, and again, but it's all about the driver, like we said earlier.
Yep. Remember, you have to drive this home. Okay, well, unfortunately, this is where I have to get out of the Astro Van because I'm riding back to the hot springs with Kurt in his rig. So Mike has to go on alone, but we're going to give him some very detailed directions. And we're going to keep an eye on him and watch because he's got to cross this sand plane. So Kurt's over there showing him the map, exactly where he needs to go. Back to Hollywood. That's right, Mike lives in Hollywood, so he's going to drive this Astro Van, which just navigated the barren wastes of Death Valley, all the way back to Hollywood tonight. All right, Mike, listen, I got to ride back with these jokers, so just kidding. These very capable off-roaders. But wow, how about that? How was that?
It was wild, man. It was pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
Blocking the road for this guy.
Oh, here comes another rig. We don't want to piss him off. Okay, Mike, hugs.
All right.
That was wild. I'm glad you did it. Now we're gonna ride back, and we'll see you next time.
All right. See you later.
Bye, Mike.
Until next time.
Say hi to Hollywood. Okay, now we're making the long drive back up everything we just went down. Here comes Ellie in the old Hilux. Look at that. No problem at all. Good job, Ellie. Oh, now we got to get back up this obstacle. Oh, this is cake. All right. Woo! Like nothing at all. How about that? Man, this whole video is one big testament to the fact that you don't need fancy, expensive. I mean, that's not to say that these guys don't have a lot of money in their rigs, but you know what I mean. It's the technique of the driver.